Why do this book now, and why teens?
I think that teens are now leading us. Teens are part of a huge global network of change that's taking place. And people like Craig Kielburger, who started his work when he was 13 years old, Hannah Taylor in Winnipeg, who started her work when she was 9 years old for homeless people. She has a foundation. Ryan Hurljack. There are teens doing incredible work. People who can't even vote yet are changing the world in very significant ways. So writing this book, I was asked to write it by the publisher, and I said yes without hesitation because I saw that I could place in the hands of teens a tool for peace.
Peace I can understand, but why this approach to peace? Why go through faith and religion?
We need to understand one another, and I know that there is a move to, people use the word tolerance when we're talking about religion sometimes, and I think it's kind of a horrible word actually, because we need to appreciate, we need to learn from, we need to celebrate the fact that we live in a country where we are side by side with people who practice different religions peacefully. This is great cause for celebration. It doesn't happen in every country of the world, as you know. I'm not a scholar, so it's not a scholarly work. What it is a friendly look, as in Gandhi's words, a friendly look at my neighbor's scriptures and cultural practices. The final chapter in the book, I suppose, is one, it's an important chapter. It's called Multi-Faith World, Only One Planet.
Almost all the kids sound the same until they actually start talking about how they practice the religion. They're into all the things that teenagers are into, video games and skateboarding and hanging out with friends and it's oh yeah, and family, and then say oh yeah, and I happen to also practice XYZ.
Yes.
It's amazing the commonality.
Yeah, and that's one of the things they teach us. Adults will quite often go for what is different in their particular tradition. Kids are teaching us a different way of even viewing our faith traditions.
Take me through some of the ingredients. First of all, you've got golden rules and green rules.
Yes.
So let's start with those.
The golden rules were right off the top. I thought, well, the research has already been done to pull out the so-called golden rules from each of the faith traditions. So I asked for permission from the people who did that research, Scarborough Missions Interfaith, to include their list of golden rules in each chapter.
Which are so close. I mean, this is the do unto others. That's the version of it I learned.
That's the Christian one, yeah.
But so many are so close. They use so many of the same words, and I was surprised by how much commonality there was with that.
The people who founded our traditions, they had the intention that we should live well with other human beings and that we should live well with the earth. And the earth, again, I was able to use research that Faith in the Common Good has done. They have put out a poster called the Green Rule. And so I got permission from them to use the green rules from each faith tradition. And that's how every religion thinks about or wants to encourage people to live on the earth in a gentle way. So each chapter has an interview with a teen who practices that tradition. And there is a story, for example, of Judaism. It's not the story of Judaism. I can't tell that, but I can tell my understanding, a story. Then there are words to know that people might hear and not understand exactly what they mean. In the Jewish, I'm just looking at the Jewish chapter here, and I placed in something about Jewish-Christian dialogue, because that's something that's been going on for about 100 years. And people who want to know more about how Judaism is lived out today can go to this chapter and find out not just the ancient story, but also what's going on today. And rites of passage, I included that in every chapter, that rites of passage and ceremonies that teens might be interested in learning about.
it also seemed to be the best face of all the religions.
Quite often we look at the practice of religion, but if you look at the intention, and that's more or less what I tried to do, was look at the intention and look at the best practices. And I did have some people read it and say, you know, you were very gentle with my religion. I don't feel that gentle toward it. I feel frustrated about my particular faith. But I'm looking at what is good in that tradition. Yeah, what's good in the story? Looking at the story and what's good in there that we can put. We don't have time anymore to fool around with. We don't have time anymore to fool around, period. Our planet needs us to give our heads a shake and get on with healing it. So I'm hoping that this book will help us think in a positive way about how we can mend the planet together.
The book is A World of Faith, Introducing Spiritual Traditions to Teens. I've been speaking with the author Carolyn Pogue, and A World of Faith is published by Copper House. That's an imprint of Woodlight Books.